Coming up, NFL Week 15 and a chance to win $100,000. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. That's right, it's another free contest, and NFL Week 15 is worth $100,000 to us thanks to our friends over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. You guys know how this game is. They give you 6 games. You got to correctly predict the winner and the win margin right. If you can do that, you'll take home the $100,000 prize. Otherwise, the group people that get the most points right will be competing for a $1,000 prize. You get 3 points right if you can get the winner right, 2 points right if you can get the margin right as well. Last week, we did decently. We got 16 points right. I got 4 of the 6 winners right. Missed the Cardinals beating the Giants, and I missed the Eagles beating the Saints. To go along with getting 4 winners right, we got 2 of the win margins right. So that was really good. We got that Bucks and Chiefs win margin right. So that's how we got to our 16 points. Not good enough, though. We'll obviously have to do a little bit better, and that's what we'll aim to do. Nobody won the jackpot last week, so there were no big-time winners. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into it and see how we'll do. This first game we got here is the Bears by the Vikings. Vikings are currently favored by -3.5. The Bears in this season are 6-7 against the spread, 6-5 as dogs, and 3-3 as away dogs. The Vikings are 6-7 against the spread. They're 2-5 as favorites, and they're 1-5 as home dogs. So what does all that mean? It means that the Bears are likely to go ahead and cover this -3.5 spread. But if we go ahead and do this breakdown, Kirk Cousins is 1-4 straight up against the Bears. I mean, just a really bad record against the Bears. But the one win was in 2020. Not too surprising, though, because we know this Bears offense is really, really bad. I mean, the defense is good, but that offense is really bad. So Kirk Cousins 1-4 straight up against the Bears, and I should say as a Viking. I'm going to modify that as a Viking. He's 1-4 against the Bears. Since 2018, also the highest scoring total for either one of these teams is only 25 points. So I would expect something really similar. I mean, you got a really good Bears defense. You got probably a little bit of above average Vikings defense, but got a lot of familiarity, obviously. So, the high of being 25 points, that was really, a little eye-opening there when I looked that up. This game's really going to come down to, can the Bears offense keep up? Because the Vikings offense is ranked number 7th. The Bears offense is ranked 28th. And that's what you're going to get right here. Can the Bears offense keep up with the Vikings offense? The Bears rushing defense is number 17. They held Dalvin Cook to just a little bit under 100 yards in the first meeting. They're going to need to do better. They can't have Dalvin Cook get up to around 100 yards. So if that number 17 ranked defense against the run does a similar output against the Vikings earlier on this season, the Bears will be sunk. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take Vikings to win this game. But because historically it's been relatively close and low scoring, I'll say Vikings win the game by 4-6. Next game we got here is Lions versus Titans. The line is currently right now Titans -10.5. The Lions on the season are 6-7 against the spread, 4-5 as dogs, and 3-2 as away dogs. Titans are also 6-7 against the spread, 3-6 as favorites, and 2-3 as home favorites. So what does that mean? It's likely a toss-up. None of these teams are doing really good at covering the spreads, and especially if this line remains at 10, because 10 is just we all know that number in the NFL. So who may cover? That's a little bit of a toss-up. All right, so let's go ahead and break down this matchup. This matchup's all going to come down to the number 3 ranked Titans offense against the number 29 ranked defense of the Titans. This Titans offense should have their way really at will against this defense. Whether they want to throw it or run it, it doesn't matter. They should be able to punish this defense. The Titans defense isn't much better, but they're also not going up against a number 3 offense. They're going up against a number 26 offense. So, the Titans have issues on defense, but they don't have to worry about a really, top 3 offense coming at them. So, and how about this for the Lions? We got to give some love here to Frank Ragnour, their center. You guys have heard this story, but a man fractured his throat in the game last week. Are you kidding me? I didn't even know you could fracture your throat. I still don't even know what the hell that means. Fractured his throat and wants to go ahead and play the rest of the game. That is unreal. These guys in the NFL, they're some tough son of a bitches, man. They tough. My gosh. Obviously, we got a big question mark in this game. Is Matthew Stafford going to play? He didn't practice on Thursday. We know the backup's Chase Daniels. Titans are coming to this game fairly healthy. I'm going to take the Titans and take them big. I'm taking Titans win the game by 15-21. Could I modify this a little bit if Stafford doesn't play? I'm not sure. Look for me on Twitter. If I make any modifications of this pick, I'll tweet it out. But as of right now, I'm going Titans win the game 15-20. 21. Next game I got here is Buccaneers by Falcons. The Bucs are currently favored by 6. Buccaneers are 7-6 against the spread. 5-5 as favorites and 3-2 as road favorites. The Falcons are 5-8 against the spread, 4-4 as dogs, and 1-1 as home dogs. So what does that all mean? It means it's going to be tight, but the Bucs slightly the Bucs may have a better chance to cover that spread. Let's go ahead and break this one down. Offensive wise, there's just 2 spots apart, so no real difference there in terms of offense. They're barely separate. It's a defense though where there's a major separation in terms of the rankings on these teams. The Bucs are number 7, the Falcons are number 28. So we got that difference, that major difference there on defense, but we've also seen how the Falcons have just lost games throughout the entire season. Just last week, they're against the Chargers. They haven't solved that problem of being able to actually win a game really when it matters on any remotely consistent basis. I already think the Bucs are better. Obviously, they're better defensively. I even think they're a little bit better offensively, even though they're relatively close there in the rankings. Ronald Jones being on the COVID list isn't a big loss. They've got a lot of veteran depth there at that running back position. So I like the Bucs in this game. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bucs to win the game by 7-9. Next game we got here is, what do we got? Seattle versus Washington. Seattle's currently favored by 5.5 points. Seattle's 7-6 against the spread this year, 6-5 as favorites, and 1-3 as road favorites. Washington is 7-5-1 against the spread, 5-4-1 as dogs, and 1-1-1 as home dogs. What does that mean? Probably gives the edge to Washington to cover the spread, minor edge. The breakdown here, though, Seahawks number 6 offense against the number 4 defense of Washington. That is the battle. Who's going to win? Is it going to be a top 6 defense or a top 4 defense? This will certainly decide the game, but it could come down to which one wins also this one. You've also got the Seahawks number 27 defense going up against the 30th ranked offense of the Washington. A little bit better under Alex Smith. We all know that. So that's, it's weighted down because of the poor play of Dwayne Haskins and Kyle Allen, but it is still ranked 30th with Alex Smith playing a handful of games. But as much as maybe it's the Seahawks going up against that Washington defense, what can the Washington offense do up against that Seattle defense? So that'll be, certainly something to watch. And then the biggest question mark is obviously Alex Smith. Will Alex Smith play? It all comes down to him playing. We've seen this team throughout the season. If they play Dwayne Haskins, it is night and day as opposed to when Alex Smith is under center. As of right now, I'm going to go ahead and say Seahawks win this game by 1-3. I will modify it if Alex Smith is out. That pick was under the assumption that Alex Smith plays. I think Washington will keep it extremely close. Love that defense, but maybe Seattle does pull it out. But if Alex Smith is out, that's getting modified, and the point margin for the Seattle's going way up. Again, I will tweet. If I modify it, I'll tweet, put it on Twitter. Just make sure you follow me on Twitter. All right, the next game here is Patriots versus Dolphins. Dolphins are currently favored -1.5. The Patriots are 6-7 against the spread, 4-3 as dogs, and 2-3 as road dogs. Dolphins, meanwhile, are 10-3 against the spread, 4-1 as favorites, and 3-0 as home favorites. What does that mean? The Dolphins are more than likely to cover that spread. What's the breakdown? Well, Dolphins went 1-1 against the spread last year against the Patriots. I was curious, so I went ahead and looked that up. Offenses are ranked about the same. They're both in about mid-20s. Patriots with a better defense, 8 spots better than the Dolphins ranking in the defense. The Dolphins, what this matchup will come down to for the Dolphins is, will they be able to fix their run defense? You guys remember this matchup was in week 1. The Patriots ran the ball for 217 yards. Bill Belichick, will look to test that Dolphins defense. Did the Dolphins give that up because it's week 1, no preseason, obviously no OTAs, no nothing. So is that why they came out rusty? Because we know the Dolphins have looked extremely better, throughout the course of the season. So it's easy to kind of chalk that up to week 1, COVID, like I said, no offseason, blah, blah, blah kind of issues. But Patriots are going to test it. They better have that issue fixed on that run defense. I think the Dolphins do. We like what they've been doing all season long. Strong defensively, strong special teams, and an above average offense. I think the Dolphins get it done here. I'm taking Dolphins to win the game by 4-6. Next matchup here we got here. This one's Sunday Night Football. It's the Browns and the Giants. Browns -4.5 is the current line. Browns are 5-8 against the spread, 3-5 as favorites, and 0-2 as road favorites. Giants, meanwhile, are 8-5 against the spread, 8-3 as dogs, and 2-3 as home dogs. What does that mean? It means the Giants are probably more likely to cover the spread in this game of +4.5 for their sake. What about the breakdown here? The Giants' offense is ranked 31st. 31st. But the defense is ranked 11th. I mean, the defense is carrying this team, folks. They're going to carry them to a potential NFC East Division championship if they can do it. It'll be on the backs of this defense, not on that offense. Offense is not getting it done. That doesn't matter really if it's McCoy. I know McCoy beat Seattle, but that was just an outstanding defensive performance. That offense is just really not that great. Meanwhile, the Browns, they have the 11th ranked offense, but they have the number 3 ranked rushing offense, and it's going to attack this defense here of the Giants. The Giants are actually ranked number 7 against the run defense, so that's going to be the ultimate battle in this game, is who can win in the trenches. Will it be the number 3 ranked rushing attack, or will it be the number 7 ranked rushing defense? That's going to be a fascinating battle to watch. Obviously, another question mark in this game is Daniel Jones. Is Daniel Jones, the quarterback of the Giants, is a question mark. Will they turn to Colt McCoy? I just said a couple of seconds ago that Colt McCoy actually led the Giants to a victory over the Seahawks, so maybe not a huge drop-off. There's this ultimate revenge game that the media is trying to play up because Colt McCoy is an ex-Brown, and now Freddie Kitchens is going to be calling the plays for the Giants as now Jason Garrett, who got put on the COVID list. We all know Kitchens was the ex-head coach of the Browns, so the media is trying to stir up this revenge game. I'm not buying into it. I'm really not buying into that. I like this Browns team. We just saw them on Monday night. We've seen them obviously a few other times this season. So I like the Browns here in this one. I think they can handle the Giants here. I don't think the Giants will have enough offensively. I think the Browns are good offensively, defensive. They win the game. I've got the Browns winning this game by 10 to 14 points. That's how I'm going to round out my chances to win $100,000 on the NFL Week 15. Go ahead and like this video, and hopefully I've been of help. That's my goal. I understand that you guys probably aren't going to follow me on all 6 of these picks. Hopefully you do. That's what I would encourage you to do. But if you don't, hopefully I've been at least helpful on one of these games. That's ultimately my goal, is to help you guys out so you guys can win $100,000. I'm Jason Mattis, and I'll see you guys on the next contest. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.